Hello, this is Akiko Sudano at stampinginthemeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and I want to demonstrate a card for you today that is made with this new upcoming bundle called the Translucent Florals Bundle, and it's a pretty stamp set with a lot of different florals and leaves and stuff, and then it's got a set of coordinating dies. Now this is a sneak peek of a stamp set that's going to be available in the September through December mini catalog, so it's got a ways before it's going to be available. But the reason that I want to show it to you is because yesterday we had a Stampin' Up event called Creativity Now, and this was an event where they used this bundle, and they made some pretty cards with it. So that's why I was inspired by that, and I wanted to share this with you today. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me today. And then this is one of the cards that they made during the with this stamp set. It's got pretty florals, and it's got, if you can see, it has a kind of a shading on the middle, so it looks that's why they call it translucent. So it's like you can see through each of the petals, and it's really, really pretty. So this was the card that they made in the and it's done in Poppy Parade and Garden Green, and use one of the sentiments in the stamp set and the deckled rectangles dies. And so I want to use this one as my model for today's card, and that's what I'm going to do. Just give me a second here. Okay. All right, except today I'm going to make the card in Lemon Lolly, and I'm going to just do a little bit different. Mix it up just a little bit. So let me first start by stamping the flower. So I've got. I'm going to stamp the arrangement pretty much the same as this one, where I have the two different flowers here. And I'm going to ink this up using the new Lemon Lolly stamp set. And I'm hoping that this shows up okay, because Lemon Lolly is such a light color. There, you can see that. See how that comes out? That's really pretty. So that's my first flower, and I'm going to ink up a second flower here and put it on the side here. There we go. And then that's the flowers, and I'm doing that in Lemon Lolly. And then I'm going to stamp the stem and the leaves in Lost Lagoon. That's another one of the new colors that we have here. So I'm going to come up here and put one of the stems. Oops, I don't know. We'll see if we. Worst comes to worst, I can put a jewel on top of that to disguise it. This is such a thin stamp that if you got to be careful not to jiggle it when you put your place your stamp down. So then I'm going to do the leaves in Lost Lagoon as well, and stamp that right there. Okay. Now, next thing that I'm going to do here with this is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to cut this one out with the third largest deckled rectangle die. So it's this one right here. And I'm going to cut this out. And my die cutting machine is right behind me, so I'm going to take this over there and I'll cut this out, and I'll be right back. And today I'm using the my Stampin' Cut and Emboss mini machine. So this is just a little, I guess, a little. I'm not as good with using this one as with the regular Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but I have this one here. There we go. There. Okay, so here's my panel, and put my die away. All right, so the next thing that I want to do here is I want to, one of the things in the Creativity Now event was that they made, this was their basic card, and they made another version of the card with, where they stamped on top of vellum. They stamped the same flowers on top of the vellum, the flowers and the leaves, and then they adhered the vellum flowers to the stamped flowers on top of that. So that's what I'm going to do here, and they did that with glue dots. And this event was very interesting because they showed a lot of different techniques, such as stamping on vellum, and they also did some made some cards with embossing paste. So, and that gives it just a little bit of something different that's there. And then do the same thing with this flower. I'm going to put it right on the center here, and where it's a little intense and dark. And I'm going to just offset it a little bit so that you can still see the the stamped on paper image below that. And then I did the same thing with the leaves. Now, what I did this ahead of time because when you stamp on vellum, it takes a little bit longer to dry. And in the demonstration, they used the Stampin' Up heat tool to dry everything, because the Stampin' Up heat tool has the 2 settings, and this is the perfect use of that first setting, because you can end up with dry something without warping your vellum too much, which is really good. And I don't have my heat tool with me here. So my panel is ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and start assembling my card base, and then I'll finish up by making the label. So I've got, I wanted to do this in Lemon Lolly, and I've got this pretty striped Lemon Lolly paper, and this is from the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper, and it's the one with the circles on the back. And Karen, yeah, they do look like poppies. So I'm seeing your comment here now. I'm not able to see everything. So Karen's, thank you so much for joining me, Karen. Good afternoon to you. And yeah, they do look like poppies. And I'd seen some cards. So you're going to see, since they had this event yesterday, you're going to see a lot of sneak peeks of this stamp set, and I saw one where they had it in different shades of red and orange, just like you would imagine poppies to be. So this is the striped Lemon Lolly Designer Series paper from the Bright and Beautiful, and I adhered this to the front of a Lemon Lolly card base. And then I cut another panel of Lemon Lolly, and this one is cut at an angle. I think I want to do it this way. These deckled rectangle dies, they have they're different on all sides. So I just kind of want to put this on the same side with this corner on the bottom here. And I'm going to make a layout where I have the two rectangles, and I'm just adhering them with liquid glue, kind of offset from each other like this. I think that that will help to have the white background show up against the lemon lolly like that. So this is going to be the background here, and just cover that with liquid glue. There. You know what? Also, these remind me of, you've seen those pictures where they have the flowers, I think, and they're kind of translucent. That's really pretty. I think that they remind me of that as well. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to make the label. Now I'm going to use the happy birthday sentiment and make this a birthday card. And this sentiment using the "You're the Best" is kind of longish. So I'm going to, this is more of a rectangle. So I'm going to show you another technique with using the deckled rectangles dies to make a label that's kind of an off, that's a different size than the dies that you have available. So I stamped my sentiment here, and I'm going to take this over to my die cutting machine. But what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this first like this, and then I'm going to move the die over, and then I'm going to cut it like this, so that I'll have a much smaller deckled rectangle. So let me make that first cut, and I'll bring it back and I'll show you what that looks like. Back over here on my die cutting machine. And I think the biggest thing that you want to do is you want to just make sure that, and it should be fairly easy to eyeball it, that you make sure that your lines are kind of even, so that you have a even border around your sentiment. But I think that it's also very forgiving because of the fact of it being your deckled design and it being kind of crooked. So here's the first cut. And I'll pull the Post-it note off, and so you have the first cut, and it's like this. So I'll place this like here, and just kind of make this even. Make sure that I've got an even border all around. It's a little hard to do because it's going to be over like that. So I'll take this over and I'll cut this out. Hi, Marion. Thank you so much for joining me. I love poppies. I do. Okay, here we go. Cutting this out. And then here is the second cut. Pull the thing off, and there's my sentiment. And I made a much smaller little label that fits the sentiment perfectly. I'll move this stuff back because we don't need that anymore. And then what this is this pretty lemon lolly ribbon, and I cut a piece of it, and I cut it on so that the ends are on a diagonal. And this ribbon is in the triple ribbon pack, and it comes with Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath, and Azure Afternoon. So it's a really pretty pack of ribbon, and this is actually the first time I've gotten a chance to use it. So I'm going to just stick it on the back of the label here, and I'm using glue dots to hold that. I just want to make sure it's kind of even like that. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks okay. And hi, Chi. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, everybody. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of my half dimensionals on the back here, and I'm going to make it so that the dimensionals straddle the ribbon so that they can grab both the ribbon and the cardstock at the back of the cardstock. And pull the covers off. And I'm going to use my tweezers so that my fingers, I'll just put the happy birthday sentiment right here, like this. And then I'm going to finish the card front with rhinestones. And I was going to use a Lemon Lolly gems, but I think that the rhinestones will pick up the silver in the ribbon trim. And I'm going to cover my boo-boo with one of these. Perfect. And get another one up here. And then I'll put one. See, let's put one up here. Okay, so this is a pretty flat card because I've the only thing that I've popped up with dimensionals is the label, but there's the card, and now let's work on the inside. So this stamp set has some pretty sentiments for the inside as well. So it's got the congratulations, which the congratulations with this sentiment, and this is the one I'm going to use. And I think this would make a nice wedding card, and I'm going to just use happy birthday and wishing you all the happiness in the world and make this a birthday card. Did I say wedding card for the congratulations? I think that would be a wedding card with these images as well, especially if you've got some designer series paper that's got some shimmer to it, some specialty designer series paper with some foils or something. That would be very pretty. And then the You're the Best, I think that would go nicely on the inside, but I'm going to use the happy birthday for the front and wishing you all the happiness in the world on the inside here. And I'm going to stamp that sentiment in Lost Lagoon. And here's my sentiment. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp this. Did I get that? No, I think I'm covered okay. I'm going to just stamp, and that's the W on the side there. I'm going to stamp this kind of in the middle and hope I'm straight. I think I am. Although, it's okay. And then there is a little flower, and I'm going to stamp this in Lemon Lolly next to the sentiment. And maybe I'll do this a couple of times. Stamp it once up here in this direction. And then stamp it again. I think 2 is good. We'll just leave it at that. And then I have another strip of the designer series paper. Here we go. put this, trim the bottom with the stripes so that we've got the stripes there as well. And then my card is done. So this was a pretty set. It's a simple set. It's easy. I think it's easy to make a cards. Pretty easy. The flowers are a pretty substantial size. There. And trim the end here. And then put this on the inside of my card with Stampin' Seal and move some of these over. So this will be available in September, but one of the other things that they did at the Creativity Now was they didn't have us make them, but they had people giving demonstrations on making some of the new products that are going to be in the online exclusives release, with the horse and sleigh stamp set, and some pretty woodland scenes, as well as horse and carriage scenes for the holiday. And also that if you've seen the banner for the online exclusives, the new banner, it's got, "Hi Joan, thank you so much for joining me." They have the little thing with the old-fashioned truck. That is going to be so cute, and those will be available on much earlier. I think it's July 6th that those will be available, and that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be so popular, that little truck, because that is just so cute. So that's the inside of my card today, and this is my card, and thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you like this. And I just feel bad that we have to wait until September till it's available. But everybody, thanks again for joining me, and have a great week. And I hope to see you next time. Hopefully it's next week, but I'm not sure. Bye-bye. Thanks again. Bye-bye.